Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. After my top 10 best albums of 2017, here comes my top 10 worst albums of 2017. And this year was quite difficult because there were some disappointments, but overall I thought 2017 was pretty decent from what I listened to, and that is why this list was hard to make, because some of the lowest ranked albums aren't per se terrible or a real disaster, but they still made my list because I felt like they didn't reach what they could have achieved. And without further ado, here we go. Number 10. Nothing But Thieves, Broken Machine. Okay, this is exactly what I meant in my intro. I give this album 3 stars when it came out because I thought it was an okay album. And I was very disappointed because their first album was absolutely mind-blowing to me. And after a couple of listens to this one, there are indeed songs that I love and others that I just don't like at all. So it was a pretty divisive album to me. And it's almost like pretty much half of it is great and the other half is just not that great. So that's why I decided to include it at number 10. Number 9. Femme 80s 90s J-pop revival. Another great disappointment was the comeback of Far East Mentioned Mannequins, aka Femme. Their first original album that came out over 3 years ago was a masterpiece of electronic dance music, and this cover album just felt flat and dull in both its executions and the selection of songs that never interested me. I've barely listened to it since it came out, and I think it says a lot about how much I care about it. Number 8. Pink, Beautiful Trauma. 2017 was a year of disappointment from singers, bands that I love, and unfortunately Pink is among them, as this last album left me wondering what happened to the fierce rock anthems that she got us used to it throughout the years. And instead we got this one, and there's some songs that I like, but in the end it's only like 4 songs, and that's why I decided to put it at number 8. Number 7. Mika Nakashima, Roots, Piano and Voice. One of the most boring and flat cover album of 2017 for me. And it was already a hard year for Mika Nakashima, but this cover album did absolutely nothing to me. I mean, it exists, but I forgot about it the moment it came out almost. Number 6. Mika Nakashima, Tough. This year we don't get 1 but 2 Mika Nakashima releases in this top 10 worst, and this time it is about Mika's last original album, Tough. And as expected, this album threw any surprises and quality out of the window, and I don't think this album should have happened in the first place, because not only did we get songs that were released on the best ofs released the year prior, but barely any new songs, and instead we got some very average new ones, very mediocre ones I would say even so, and after 3 years of disappointment, it's hard not to be bitter about all this. Number 5. One Ok Rock, Ambition. I think we can agree that the glory days for One Ok Rock are slowly fading away, as this album felt less like a Japanese rock album and more like a mainstream one to appeal to the world masses, and it just didn't deliver, and it kind of lost that flavor that the band had before, and it's kind of a shame because there are some decent songs on it, but I don't remember much from it at all. Number 4. Kana Nishino, Love It. Kana Nishino didn't shine this year, and her last album, Love It, proves it. I was surprised by how mediocre the album ended up being, with really annoying cute songs and kind of average pop music that just didn't feel as appealing as her music used to be for me. Number 3. Twice, Signal. I wasn't a huge fan of Twice when they debuted, but since they managed to change my mind throughout many great comebacks. but Signal this year fell short on all accounts. With a title song that I don't even remember, and I don't even know what was in this mini album. So yeah, I completely forgot because it is a very forgettable mini album. Number 2. Leo Ieri, 5th Anniversary Best. Leo Ieri started as one of the most interesting rock singer back in 2012 when she debuted. And ever since then, every releases that she has put out there has been a constant disappointment for me. So it's no surprise that this best of to celebrate 5 years of career was just as sad and disappointing as how her career evolved. Number 1. Finally, my number 1 worst album of 2017 is former Girls' Generation member Soyeon with a debut mini album, Don't Say No. I remember nothing from it. My mind just goes blank as this mini album simply was the most boring and flat release by a member of Girls' Generation at the time, and it's hard not to compare it to other members' solo endeavors because this one was just, it never took any risk, it was just average K-pop and I don't think many remember it. And there you have it, my top 10 worst albums of 2017. I hope you guys managed to enjoy this video, and I'd love to know which albums released this year you didn't like, so don't hesitate to tell me in the comment section down below. And as for me, I'll see you tomorrow to talk about my favorite songs of this year.